Alright, so everyone quiet. Motherfuckers. Alright, okay. Sorry. Oh, God.
I don't want to hit the mic.
Okay. So what are we drinking? Drinking the black?
Drinking the black.
You going back after this?
Going back.
Katie, what are you drinking?
Wine.
And I have black currant and raspberry. So we just saw 50 Shades of Grey.
Hell
I mean, shit, fuck. Start again. It's not grey. Damn it. It's Freed. Shit. Okay, hang on. Welcome, everybody. You're... Fuck! We've taken over Dylan's podcast of You're Wrong, the great film debate. I'm here with...
April.
And...
Katie.
And we are The Girls Do, or The Girls Take Over, You're Wrong. So we've just gone tonight and seen 50 Shades Freed. So I've read the first 3 books and I've watched all the movies, you know, behind the scenes and everything, but we've been drinking, obviously, so I'm not going to remember any of the fucking finite details. April?
Yeah, I've read all 5 novels that are out at the moment and seen all the movies, of course.
I've read none of the novels. It's obviously never interest me because of all... Well, I only
the
know...
kinky fuckery?
No!
That's the most important part.
Well, it's like the only thing I know about it is the backstory you've given me, how it was started as
we watched 50 Shades Darker so that Katie would know what's happening in Freed.
It was so boring. I was just bored.
What did you think of the sex scenes? Just the sex scenes. Because the acting was subpar, but the sex scenes can be different.
I mean, I've seen better. Because it's just like...
Where's the dick?
No. It's only her that's undressed. He's in this... Sometimes he's clothed and sometimes not. And it's like... Sometimes she's on the bed.
I will give it... Sorry, I don't mean to cut you in, but I will give it to them in Freed. He is completely naked when they're dripping the ice. By the way, this is a spoiler podcast. It's X-rated as well. We'll go into graphic detail about the sex scenes. Maybe. Who knows? We're all fucked up. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, no, when she's got the ice cream, he is completely naked and she's clothed. That's the only scene in over 3 movies where... she's clothed and he's completely naked.
But you've read the book, right?
Yeah.
So there's reasons that he's clothed.
But this isn't...
Oh, that's right, because of his chest.
But he isn't shirtless in any of them. That's not... I wouldn't have an issue if he was shirtless, but he's not. It's his pants. It's either completely clothed with just the dick out that we don't see, or he's got his shirt off. Which... And look, in the book, he is naked in the book as well. Like, he is completely naked. He just... you know, moves her hands around. That's just it. And I still maintain that she doesn't give him a blowjob until the 3rd book anyway.
What? Are you kidding? The first encounter in the bath?
She doesn't suck him off.
Yes, she does. She gets an A+.
That's right. I'm sorry, Katie. Do you want to explain that scene?
Just to point out, I haven't read any of the books.
They have a bath. And she handles his member. It's a quivering member.
I
You
still
haven't
don't know
drunk
what
in
the
a
fuck you're going
long
about.
time,
It's been a
have
while,
you?
guys.
Going into this, we filmed a quick little, 30-second thing while we got fucked up. When by fucked up, I mean drunk. So, did this movie... If you had expectations, did it meet it? Were your expectations lower? Did you hate it more or less than the other movies? What was your opinion, Katie?
Well, I went in there with bottom. Just my expectations were low, below the ground,
6 feet under,
right to the Earth's core. And it was pretty much exactly as I expected. I was bored. And
the sex scenes,
the
none
sex
of it?
scenes,
Her in lingerie, then.
yeah, it was okay.
That's alright.
I mean, I did notice that they've improved on some things. Just in all seriousness, her acting's gotten better. she's less bland as she was in the previous
And
movie.
you've only seen the second one, not the first one. The first one, she was horrendous.
Yeah, that's what I mean, you showed me that 15-minute YouTube clip.
So we shout out to Cinema Sins right now because we were in the car and I'm like, shit, you need to know something about the first movie. Fuck it. So we went to that. That was our go-to for Katie to know at least some of what was happening. But we didn't get to the sex scenes in the first one, though.
That's fine.
Because we had to watch the second one and we were on a
They're all
time
pretty
crunch.
much the same.
No, I'd say that Freed had more sex scenes. I'd
That's
say Freed...
unrealistic. Once you get married, the sex kind of goes down.
But honestly, so you think that that's accurate when you get married, that's it, sex goes? Your experience
I mean,
dictates.
well, as the only formerly married person.
Yeah.
I kind of like the movies.
Do you prefer the books or movies?
I always prefer the books.
Really? In this case, I would prefer the movies in a way.
No, I always prefer the books because this movie just left out so much of what I love about the series.
What is it that you love? Because for me, it lost me the second. So in the book, Katie, because it's all from, the original books are all from Anna's point of view. And she's got this fucker of a thing that happens almost every second page where she's like, my inner goddess did cartwheels as he fingered me up the arse. Like, it's...
Holy shit.
That's
not
not a
the arse
direct
until,
quote.
like, the last
it's
one,
not
but-
a direct quote, but like...
It truly was a Twilight fan fiction.
But that was like what it was. It was like my inner goddess. Oh, what was it? I remember there being one. And she's like, my inner goddess looked up from her newspaper
yes,
on
her
her
newspaper.
long lounge going, I like it. Like, it was horrible. Like, okay.
It was horrible. It was great.
It was great.
You're in a goddess. Does she have
I'll
an
tell
accent
you
like
now,
that?
no. I'll tell you what, mine probably sounds like a fire-breathing whore, than anything else.
All right, Cersei.
All right, anyway, you were saying why you love the books.
Yeah, so the books just had so much more in them. So where the fuck was Anna's dad?
He's in the second one.
No, in the third one, he
No,
has
first
a
one. He's in the
starring
first
role.
one. In the first one, he was in the first movie at her graduation, and he's like, actually, I have a thing to dig. I know we're trying to only talk about Freed, but in the first one, her dad in the book, and I understand book to movie, it gets jumbled up. You're not always gonna whatever, but he's this shy, quiet person who doesn't want to be out there. Who she gets that from him. That's the point.
Yeah.
And he's this outgoing, fun-loving, oh yeah, everything's everything man in the first one.
Yeah.
Like that's a
It's
dig.
just
That's a big
disappointing.
dig.
Yeah, well, just the movie just lost relationships. Lost... I don't know, like, the
Felt to
heart
me-
of it.
Felt to me they got lazy at the end. It's like, oh, happy ever after.
I don't
Lost
even want
the
to talk about the ending.
details. It's just, I know the scene with the, what was the gender of the baby?
Boy. Teddy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Is that what they named him?
Yes, Theodore.
I actually like the name, by the way. Like, Theodore's nice.
Theodore.
I like the whole twist. Where
Which twist? Because
Sorry.
there was like 5 different shit. Actually, that was one thing. The movie was so fast-paced, I felt like it was broken off into sections.
the one where
with
she
no
looked like she was
continuity.
about to break some necks, she like goes AWOL and she gets that $5 million. You know,
Right, so like the last
picks up-
15 minutes.
She picks up the gun and she's like, "Oh my god, is
I'm
this
on
guy
cut a
like an
bitch."
action flick now? Is she gonna like shoot some cocks off?" And
Rip some cocks off.
Just the one.
just that guy.
Christian might like it. He was submissive for a
But
while
I was
there.
disappointed when she fell over and shot his leg. It's like you can't shoot him.
Good on her, though. One shot and she kneecapped him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but she took 2 hits, one to the stomach, and was like in a coma.
Is that
Yeah,
in the-
no, that's bullshit. That's crap.
She got beat up in the book.
like
she
she
got
got like
beat.
he slapped around.
What was
sorry.
it like?
He
That
slapped
part
her
like
around
in
and
the
hit her.
book?
It was intense.
You
Yeah.
explain it while I pour.
Intense.
Do you want another drink?
Oh, please.
Okay, same thing.
Thank Christ.
Or do you want tropical?
Yeah, tropical. Hit me. So, like, she gets there and she doesn't know that he actually has Mia. And they just kind of have
See,
at it.
I have a different memory, but that would be because it was years since I've watched it. Read it, where I don't remember. I remember him having Mia's phone, but I thought he lured her there and tricked her, and Mia wasn't actually there.
Mia was actually there.
Okay, all right, yep, fair enough, yep. you think you don't
In the
know
comment section,
now.
is going to be like, April is wrong.
If we're wrong on anything, correct us, please.
Do not correct me.
April loves to fight.
Correct me as well. I know
will
shit
hurt
all
you.
about this series, so
Well, that means you're in the clear, though.
yeah.
Okay. I honestly... I felt like the films did get better as they go along, and I'm genuinely, when I'm on... Oh, genuinely, fuck. Normally when I'm on a podcast with the boys, or anyone, I tend to and ah a bit. But, see, the boys don't get any joy in a lot of things. I can, because I feel. But this... Am I lying?
You're not lying.
There we go. So I feel like they did get better as they went along. However, when it came to continuity, especially in the second one, I felt like it flowed a lot more. There was a lot of staggering pieces, but I felt like they came together. In the first one, it just felt it was a pile of dog shit. Don't even. Just it was no. All of it was no. Second one, it got better. I personally love the whole what they did with the carnival thing, you know, bringing Venice into a tent. I loved it. I ate that shit up. But the third one, it felt like they did the best that they could with the source material. And you said it's the same director as the second.
It didn't look too bad.
No, it didn't look... This is the thing. It looked great. And that's where a lot of people can forgive it. If it sounds and looks good, they can forgive a lot of things. That's just how we're wired. But yeah, then there's the plot and the writing and all the rest of it. And that was a load of horseshit in a way. But again, for the source material, it did very well for itself. The third book had the most in it. It did.
Which is why they had to get rid of a lot. I understand.
Yeah, and I get that, but they did, and they kept to. But this is the thing. I feel like the director went, I have to stick to the plot as much as possible. So I'm going to go to the book. What I can do, I'll do, and everything else I'll cut. But in that process, it became staggered because I kept going like, oh, what's he going to do here? Oh, this doesn't. It didn't flow. I felt it.
Right.
I felt like it was broken into bits and pieces, like you would if you were on a storyboard. It felt like. This is the first half, this is the second half, this is the third half, this is the fourth, this
You
is the
could
fifth.
see, it's like you could actually see the storyboard being drawn up.
Exactly, yeah. Like,
And
it
did feel very awkward watching the transitions to different scenes.
Definitely. And I just don't... honestly, let's not talk about the storyline or anything, because I think we can... to an extent agree it's unrealistic. It's clearly a fiction, which is what it's meant to be. But I do want to stick to kind of the main points. So one of the obviously big things about 50 Shades was the BDSM. So do either of you two have any, I'm just going to say prior knowledge of BDSM? I'm not going to ask experiences, but like just, do you know anything about it? Have you ever been... No, I'm not going to ask that.
Yeah, like, what in the hell is BDSM?
April, what does it stand for?
A good time.
There we go.
Don't show my mum.
At the core understanding, you know that there's going to be handcuffs, chains, whips, like that kind of stuff. You know it's going to be around. Even if you don't know everything.
I liked the Red Room. It looked like
it's so sexual.
I think it would be a cool room to just sit in for me.
Yeah, it would be so good. I actually, when I thought of it from the books to this, I was really impressed with what they did. And it's actually the only one continuity thing in his apartment that stayed the whole time. Yeah. I do have a good knowledge base, practical knowledge base about this. What about you, April?
Yeah. Knowledge enough.
Okay.
To talk
You
about
asked me. I don't. I usually have to ask other people for their knowledge.
What about the sex toys? When the sex toys came on, did you guys know exactly what they were, or did you have...
Not actually. It was kind of interesting seeing, like, because you talk about it sometimes, and it's just like, oh, I wonder if Heather uses that, and then you, and then you were like, oh, I probably tried to buy all of them at least once, Katie, and I'm like, oh, okay. I hate
Clamps.
I just it makes me cringe.
But like, okay, I liked what they did with the butt stuff scene. Props to the butt stuff. Like, that was tastefully done. If you were ever gonna get, I love how they were like, the period scene was never ever gonna be in the movie. It was cut out of it. It's never gonna happen.
What happened?
Butt stuff.
What was with the period scene?
So in the first movie, there's a bit where she goes to
Yeah,
her
I like that
mother's.
look.
Yeah, there's a bit where she goes to her mother's in America, and she's there, and Christian ends up going to see her. And there's a bit after that, I think, or before, I can't remember. Anyway, she goes to his apartment, and she's on a period, and there's like an intense talk, and then he's like, "Oh well, fuck," and he's like half naked because he was in a bath or something, and they're making out, and then he bends her over, and she's like, "Oh, Christian, no," and then he goes to pull the tampon out, and she's like, "No, don't do that, it's taboo," and then he
What?
I'm paraphrasing.
care.
No, I'm paraphrasing. Yeah,
not
basically,
care.
he doesn't give a shit. And he pulls it out, like puts it in the bin or whatever, and then they have sex and have a bath, which is really unadvisable when you have your period. As 3 women, I think we can all attest to that. Like, yeah.
Gross.
I'll drink to that.
I hate being around my own period.
Oh, don't even. But yeah, no, it's just. So that scene happened in the book, but they were like adamant from the beginning. They were like, the big question was in the first movie was, are you gonna have the period scene? And they were like, no, we're not. No, it was cut out in like the first writing. No, it's too much. It's too much. Comes to the third movie with the guy that worked with, what's his fucking name, that's been done for all the sexual assault stuff, and he's like, butt stuff. How do we work that in? Let's do a quick, like, 3-second image of the butt things, and then to Anna going, and then him going, Anna, do as you're told. And then she's like, like, that is...
The first movie?
No, that was free. That's what we just watched. Where she's sitting in the office just before the
that's right.
Yeah, you remember.
That scene was done well. Like
It was. No, I'm propsing it. It was
like
good.
going in
done.
between.
The scream she made.
That was good. That was good. Yeah, you're getting the PTSD is flowing back to you now.
I was more drunk.
Forget you've read the books.
Yep.
How is it just as a movie and not comparing it to the books?
It's not great. Just as a movie, visually, it's very lovely. It is, and I won't deny
very
that,
soft.
but it is. Except when it's hard. But so coming into it, not thinking of the other movies, other books, because it was a while between reading them, but just from a movie perspective, Freed, I mean, it didn't flow, which I've already brought up. Visually, it was stunning. There was the Red Room, immaculate, exactly how I pictured it. Maybe 1 or 2 differences, but other than that, whatever. But that's in your own head when you read the book. Acting, not better, certainly better, but still not great. Writing, they did the best they could. They did not have a lot to work with in the beginning. Yeah, so
Props for even making it into a movie, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
It
remember.
had to be made.
Yeah.
I remember the first couple of weeks after the first movie aired, and I think one of the morning shows in Australia, they called the 2 main actors in, Christian and
Anna,
yeah.
the actors in real life. He's Scottish, which
Yeah,
is just
he has
a yes for me. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Anyway, it's just
Jamie.
like the entire time they were criticized and people were laughing at them.
Which I don't think they deserve.
No.
I don't think that the actors deserve that. I mean, look, the acting was terrible, but again, it comes down to the writing and the director and the producers. So actors to an extent can be like, because if it's just a shit, like obviously throughout the course of the movies and the other things that they've done, they're not crap actors. You can't call them crap actors because they're just not. But you can only do so much with what you've got.
They had to really work with the
Yeah.
with the script.
Because when they don't talk, I like it.
I like the visual effects when they're
Terrible.
filming the scenery. That's what I
In
like.
Darker, before they... So, like, what? The first fucking lines they had to one another, after they've broken up and all the rest of it, I didn't even care that much. But I got that intensity, I got that everything. And then what does he say? Anastasia. I'm
That's
like...
all he has to say.
No,
Yes, it is.
I disagree. Because I cringed. I'm like, oh, that's just...
I
No,
hate.
that's just a no.
There's no-
Because if you had a decent writer in there, they would have done something different.
There's no depth in his eyes at all.
I disagree.
I
but
disagree.
I disagree, but
Really?
only because I do feel that. The only time I didn't feel it is when he, and again, this is in the second one, not the third movie, but in the second one, where he's meant to become this dominant, and you see him trying to physically, like, kind of shake it off and become this dominant hard figure when he goes to confront, oh shit, what's her name? Lila? I don't
Leela,
fucking know.
yeah.
Yeah. When he goes to confront her, and you see him you see the actor kind of do this.
The shift.
Yeah, but it doesn't work because he can't pull that off. But just with the sex and delivering the lines to her, he has it. But I would argue that's down to they spend the most amount of time together. They understand and they're in similar positions when it comes to the acting. Everybody else, when it comes to him having to do that with anybody else, it just doesn't work. But that's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion.
No, I get you. I don't know. He has his eyes.
What would you?
He has the eyes for me. He has it.
He's Scottish. That does it for me.
But the accent isn't there.
I don't give a shit. I know he's Scottish. That's it for me. With her, I think she's stunning. I honestly think she's super attractive. I'd kill for that silhouette, the bitch, but I think she's a...
She works very hard on
Yeah,
that.
no, and again, like, she deserves the props for that. But I watch it and I think there's certain things that have been done well. It's like with most films, you can pick the things that have been done well, but overall, I guess, to kind of wrap it up, overall as a film, do you guys think that, and I guess what we go by now in You're Wrong is it the best version of itself? And talking specifically about 50 Shades Freed, is it the perfect version of itself, or can it do better? And it's out of 5, just if you're
I
curious.
personally think it's its best as it's gonna get.
I wouldn't give it a 5, but still, you think it's as good as it's gonna get.
That's not saying I like it, but again, this is something in more depth than that.
Yeah.
I think they did what they could with what they had, which was the book. Not many people liked it.
A lot of people
I
did,
disagree.
though.
Actually,
A lot of people did.
I'm probably
It's
just
so
talking.
long.
I'm probably just talking about myself. Even though I've never read it, so I just contradicted myself.
Doesn't matter. We do it all the time. We just edit it out. You've no idea what we edit out.
But it's again, like you said before, with what they had, they did pretty good, I think. I personally am not a fan of what it's based around. It's, yeah, I can't say that I think it's its peak.
And it's a good thing it's finishing at its peak then.
Yeah, and
So what are you giving it? Out of 5?
Out of 5.
2.5.
2.5. That's okay. Yep. All right.
I mean, it's like, because I'm not a huge fan, and I'm probably just gonna have to go with a movie on its own because I haven't read the books or anything, and my knowledge.
But this is movie, so like we bring up
Yeah.
the books just because that's our opinion.
I'm
but
limited,
for you, it's...
and it's for me. Just it's not my cup of tea. I've done my best to analyze what you showed me, and I'm giving it a 2.5.
Okay. April?
I'm giving it a 3.
3.
Yeah, I mean, it's alright. They did what they could. I mean, it's a 2-hour-long movie.
Source material.
They
it comes down
could
to
not
source
make
material.
it more... They jammed a lot in there.
Yeah.
They shoved it down.
Just
my
like
throat.
her anus. I'd give it a 3 too. I would give it a 3 as well, just because for Freed they improved. It felt like each movie improved, and the continuity wasn't there. The acting was better because they were comfortable. They sort of knew they could play with it a bit more because they were comfortable with the characters. But visually, again, I would, if it was just visually, I'd fucking score it a 5.
I
but
think
it's
they
not
improved
visually.
on what people were complaining about. In the
Yep,
first
yep,
one.
yep, definitely,
for that.
definitely. But
The
I
change
would,
of actor helped. The actor. The change of director helped.
yeah, definitely, hands down. I'm very happy that he did both Darker and Freed. Kevin Spacey, that was it. He's the one that didn't. Sorry, bad. But yeah, no, I'd give it a 3. It's just not. It's not there. You could do better, but to do better, you'd have to get away from the source material. So I mean, it's arguable. Whichever side you wanted to go to, it's there's arguments for both sides. All I'm saying. I think we better wrap it up because otherwise we're going to down like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bottles of wine, and then that's not going to be great to deal
We're
with
gonna melt into a puddle.
because it's hot.
Swatting.
It's it's summer in Australia, people. It's not nice. All right. So I guess let us all pick up our glasses.
Let us.
Let us. Let's cheers to, I guess, the fact that we watched a mild porno tonight.
We did.
And great work, guys. See you next time. I can hear Dylan struggling from his restraints. We better go. Bye.
Bye. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's
All right.
free him.
Let's free him.
Freed.
Oh, he's not going to be happy with
Hi, Dylan.
All right, that's
Oh my god, I feel so drunk.
You probably are a bit drunk.
But I'm not, but I feel it. I've had like 1 glass.
Someone knocking?
They're gone.
Oh my god, see, look at this. I'm sweating.
Fuck you doing knock it run during a podcast, bitch.